Hey, Coach Jay here. I want to stop by and talk to you about pain brings about change. Pain, to me, is an indicator that there's a change going on. You say, how is that so? Let's look at this. When you go to a gym and you begin to run on the treadmill, walk on the treadmill, or do some exercise on the treadmill, after you do it for 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days, on that 4th day, your body sends you a signal. Say, hey, the muscles are on fire. Little pain starts shooting up there, reminding you that you have been doing something is what? Causing change. It's changing because the body says we're not normally walking as many miles or we're walking or running as many miles as we have been running. Or it's saying, thank you, we're back. This is how we used to do it. This is a notification to the body that we're going back to our old way or something that we've been used to. Either we're used to it or we're being introduced to it. The body responds to it in a form of pain, of awareness. And I'm using pain as a positive thing because it's letting you know that something's happening in your body, that the body wants everybody to be alert, or everything in your body to be alert, that there's a change going in. There's a demand and there's an expectation. Think on that. If we would look at this from a mental capacity and start looking at what our body is saying, there is a demand upon it to change. If we would embrace that in our natural life, that when we start thinking and process, the body fights against any new thing because the body doesn't like to be shocked. Yeah, it don't like you to change. It don't like you to go and introduce something new to it because it puts up a resistance. It's like, wait a minute, wait, stop. What's going on here? It goes in like a panic mode. And this would make sense to why we panic when change comes. Because learning something new causes a demand. And the mind is built, get this, the mind is built to keep you safe. It's built to bring the least amount of resistance to you. So it's way of saying, I got to keep it safe. I got to keep this body safe. So anything introduced to it that brings about change, brings about pain, brings back awareness. And the body and the mind sits back and says, we don't want to bring about changes if it may cause us pain. And pain in a positive way now. Pain is an awareness signal that's letting you know that there is something that you're doing that is causing the body to go in alert, and the body has to make a major adjustment. So if you're running on that treadmill and you've been walking for the greatest amount of time, when you start running, it's more demand put on that body. It causes the body have to work harder, and the mind is saying, slow this thing down. I don't know if I want to be introduced to this. So what you have to do, you have to overrule your mind, the way you're thinking, and tell your mind, this is what we're doing. Guess it's convincing your mind that the only reason we're doing this is to help us to live better, meet one of my desires, meet one of my conditions. And the mind suddenly says, okay, I have to make an adjustment. So it now sends a signal out throughout the body and say, hey, body, line up. We've been introduced to something new, and according to what they're telling me, this is going to be the norm. Now, the body makes the adjustment, and it now has an expectation. No more fear, no more warning signs. This is what they're saying we're going to do. So it teaches the body and all its parts, come on, let's get ready, because on Monday, we're losing weight. On Tuesday, we're working out. On Wednesday, we're running more. Whatever it may be, the body's saying, you told me we're going to do it. So now it goes away from pain to expectation. And when it expects it to happen, it does so many things in the body to prepare for this new demand that it yearns for it. That's right. Once you start telling the body that you're going to do something, the body prepares itself for this impact. That's right. When you start speaking to your mind and says, I'm going to achieve this. The body puts everything in place to assist you. But here's the problem. Nobody said it was going to be easy, because the mind is still going to fight to keep you safe. It's still going to say, hey, we prepare for this, but do we really need to do this? So you have to have that internal encouragement, that internal self-discipline to keep telling the mind, I got to encourage you. We got to do this. Come on. And until it becomes a routine. You have to keep on telling yourself that we're going to do this. Tell your mind, line things up, keep that body in place. And the body has a way of reminding you, or informing you, should I say, that there's something wrong if you're doing something that's causing injury to the body. Now, let's talk about this. We talk about weight loss. And we make this routine, we look at this menu and we say, this is what we're going to cut back on. We go through all this dieting practice, all that, again, stimulating the mind. And the body is saying, hold up, let me do this calculation. You're telling me now that we're going to reduce what we've been eating. And we're going to go to a small amount of intake. And you're saying that these portions that I eat now are going to be enough to fill this body and meet the demands that the body has been craving or introducing to itself for years, and now you want me to change? There will be an alert to the body. You know, we call hungry. See, people don't understand there are two things in process. Notice I say craving, and we're going to talk about feeding. There's a difference. See, when you're hungry, that means the body is demanding that a certain type of fuel is missing. Fuel for the body, which brings the food in. The food brings a certain amount of fuel to the body based off of what you're eating. And based off of it, the body sends you alert, telling your mind that this is either meeting the need or it's not. But on top of that, there's another segment that we have that is one of the most dangerous things that we deal with. It's called craving. Doesn't mean that we're hungry. We just desire to have something a little more than what we need. The fuel is there from normal eating, but the craving trumps that and puts more fuel in there than what we need. And sometimes the fuel that you give is the wrong type of fuel for what the body needs. So what are you talking about? Let's take this. Sweets. When you have a normal diet, normal regimen, how you eat, count your calories, whatever you do, and you go now and eat sweets. Now, nothing wrong with eating sweets. It's a balance to everything. But what I am saying is that your sweets bring a certain high. It's that sugar that goes in there, whatever that chemical is in there to your body, and it gives you instant energy. It's almost like driving a car with boosters on it. When you hit that switch, it puts a shock or whatever to the car, and it gives us this instant burst of energy or power, and whoosh, off it goes, right? But eventually, the boost power burns out. And then the car goes back to its normal riding capacity, right? Speed and all. It's just like that with you. When you take these sugars, automatically your body get a boost. Woof, off it goes, ready to run. And then all of a sudden it has this major thing when it goes back to normal. It doesn't just go back to normal. The body crashes. It goes from extremely high to a quick low, and it's rapid. Wham! And the body can't take it. The body said, wait a minute, what is going on here? So it sends all these alerts out to you and say, hey, there is a problem. Guess what though? You ignore it. You ignore that boost was not healthy for you. You ignore it because you start breaking it into your routine. Hey, if I'm feeling a little sluggish, I'm gonna get some sweetness in my body, and it's gonna push me up. But the truth of the matter, the reason why you're feeling sluggish is because you're overeating. Or flip it to the other side, you're not eating enough. So what you do for you all that's like dieting and you want to lose the weight, you're thinking that you eat some sugars and it'll boost your metabolism up and all of a sudden all this is going to come off. Yeah, you have these quick bursts, but then after that, you go and feed yourself with all this fuel, and the body has a big old tank. Think about it. And you put more in the tank than what you need. Instead of the body telling you, hey, it does tell you, we're full, we don't need no more. What you do, you eat more because you get greedy. And you start seeing things, and then you start eating more and more. And the tank says, hey, your stomach, we need to make an adjustment. We need to expand our tank because of the demand that's put on us to store more fuel. And because the body don't know how to dump all that fuel out quickly, it just absorbs it. So what does it does? It demands everything else in your body to line up and to hold this more fuel. So it starts storing the fuel around in hopes that eventually you're going to come to your senses and say, we need to dump this, and we need to do things to help our body dump this. This is where workout come out. This is where cutting back comes in. Am I making sense to you? See, and the body creates this awareness, these signals, these call to actions to you, and you ignore it because you're accustomed to the pain. You're accustomed to the alert that this is just the body telling me that I need to let go. I need more fuel. The body's not saying that you need more fuel. The body's saying, let's reduce the fuel. I have too much fuel. And what's happened is you're putting all this added weight on, and guess what? The body can't perform the way that you want it. It's just like a car. You can have all the power in the world, but if you put more weight in the trunk, it can only deal with what it has to deal with, meaning that you create a car that's supposed to do 100 miles an hour with nothing in the luggage, nothing in the trunk. And now you put all these weights in the trunk. How do you expect it to run at 100 miles an hour when it's telling you you're putting too much demand on it? And the way that it's built to go 100 miles an hour. But what you did is alter it by putting 100 pounds of weight in the car. So you can't expect me to still do the same type of performance with the more weight that you have given me. Therefore, lean into the place while we work out, while we try to burn out. We misused ourselves, we miscalculated, and we put on extra fuel that we didn't need, and that fuel has to go somewhere, so it becomes stored in the body. So when you're looking at your weight loss and you're looking at all these exercise, it's important that we find a routine that works for us and we keep going that way. Because if we don't, y'all, we'll just start storing it. And then other things come with it, because when you're putting extra weight on, get this, and I'm not trying to come from the medical field or anything like that, but think of this. You're putting on more weight. And I told you the body has one little tank, it's called the stomach. And when the stomach can't put all that or hold it, it begins to expand. But when it expands, it takes that extra stuff and it pushes somewhere else in the body. It says, hey, listen, store this for me. Store this for me. Store this for me. Store this for me. And the body says, okay, I do this one time to help you out. But you need to send a signal to the body and tell them, hey, we can't do this on a regular basis because it's changing the way that we were structured. And guess what happens? You keep on ignoring the call, the change, and what happens then, you all? We begin to expand. Our body begins to take on a new demand. Even though the mind was trying to tell you signals that, hey, this is not helping us, this is hurting us. The body is sending all kinds of signals and tell us that we need to dump this extra fuel. You said, oh, don't worry about it. I'll work it off. Don't worry about it. I'll get to it tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We'll work it out. And it don't happen. This is why when you go to the gym or you go to walking or whatever, you can't do it on a consistent basis because your mind is saying, hey, we need to do this. But you keep telling them, well, don't worry about it. You've used to it. So there's no new demand. Even though the mind is trying to create one, but you won't follow through enough to keep it, because soon as the body says, we're ready to make this adjustment, it sends a signal to you. Let's go ahead and follow through with what you're saying. You encourage me that I need to tell the body, hey, put them on full alert. We're about to dump fuel. We're about to dump all this added weight. We're about to do something that's going to change how we're doing. They say yes. We get excited. And it does the same thing. The mind does the same thing. It reminds you that a change is coming. And either it's an awareness that we've done this before and it worked for us, or it's one saying, hey, what's going on? Because we got accustomed to taking all this fuel, and now you're putting on a demand for us to call this fuel up and burn it up. Wait a minute. This is another change, because we done got adjusted to eating, or not working out, to now we got to work out. Whew. And then what happens? As soon as it lets you know that there's a change that is starting, what you do? You welcome that you're tired. You're welcome that this is not going well. Okay, here we go again. I need to go eat a cake. I need to eat some sweet because I need that energy boost to keep working out. You can say what you want, but the body does this part. It's just you fail to encourage it to keep going on. You fail to encourage your mind to keep pressing. And this is why we talk about having accountability partners, coaches, that they can sit back and help you to stay maintained and find those words of encouragement that's needed to help you to keep going on. That's right, help you to keep going on. But no matter what we're talking about, you have to do the hardest heavy lifting. That's right, you have to get in your mind that you're ready and that you're gonna stay consistent. You can have all the accountability coaches in the world, but if the accountability coach is to meet you at the gym and you don't come to the gym, so how's that accountability coach? He or she can't do anything unless you show up. He or she can't do anything unless you're there. You can't have accountability coaches on your bed talking about you need stimulation to get up. No, you got to get up yourself and make it happen. Listen, if I can be honest with y'all, and I'll leave you there, there's more to this than just what I'm sharing. Sometimes you need a little more mental coaching. You need to sit down with someone and let's dissect why you can't stay on your diet, why you can't stay on your workout, why are you struggling with either or anything else. That's why I've created this performance coaching program to help people, no matter where you are, is to be able to look at things from a different lens and try to see where you can work and make these changes that you feel are needed, not what somebody else tell you. You have to feel it and believe it. Because if you don't understand your why, it's nothing I can do for you, or any coach for that level. Listen, I spent plenty of years in school learning about performance psychology. That's right, performance psychology, not exercise, not heavy lifting, not down to earth, let's counsel about your personal problems. No, I'm talking about performance. Finding those triggers that limit or restrict you from attaining those things you want to do. And most of the time, it's just having some talk therapy. No, I'm not talking about you have all this weight on your back. Sometimes the weight that we're talking about is something that you create. Let's think about that. Listen, I'm going to pause here. If you want to reach out to me, we can reach out by sending me an email at james@onemovementllc.com, james@onemovementllc.com. I have plenty of packages on the website at onemovementllc.com. You can see all the different packages that you have there. If you feel that there's nothing on to help you, please just reach out to me directly and I can create one to help you and assist you. You can go ahead to the YouTube and get some self-help that I've created, different different videos to help us to stay encouraged at One Move 5491. One Move 5491. While you're there, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Become a member there. And if you sign up now or send me an email, I give you a free consultation. That's right, free consultation to try to motivate and encourage you. Along with that, if you send me an email, I can put you on my listserv and I can send you some of my blogs and other written material, newsletters and things to help you stay encouraged and inspire you on some of the things that we're challenged with on a daily basis. Again, if you would like to know more, reach out to me, james@onemovementllc.com. Y'all know what I said. I'm Coach Jay, and I'm out of here. Peace.